So we're in the final screencast for the Tickets WooCommerce new user primer. And by this point, the event is taking place. I'm excited for you, hopefully you're excited for yourself. All your hard work over the past few weeks is paying off, and tonight the event is going down. Your users already know what they're going to do based on what we saw in screencast number 3. They're going to complete their purchase, they're going to print out that ticket, and they're going to bring it to the event. They'll know that you have a reference inside your system, so it's just going to be like any other ticketed event where as long as they have that on hand, they have their admission to get in the door. But you as a site administrator have a few things to keep in mind as well. First of all, I want to walk through briefly the reports that we covered a bit in Screencast 2, just because if I were hosting an event, I'd like to be able to come in and see reports leading up to the event so that I could see, okay, these are the type of tickets that are selling better than others, this is how many tickets I've sold overall, gives me a good overview of what I'm looking for as the event is about to take place. Reports are very easily accessed. You just come into the broader events list here, find the event in question, and click into it. Down in the tickets panel, which is where we set up the tickets initially, I have the option to view either a sales report for the broader event or a ticket-by-ticket report. In a situation like this where you only have one type of ticket available, there's not going to be much difference at all between those two, but these start to come in handy, and the event sales report versus ticket-by-ticket sales report come in handy when you have a bunch of different ticket types so that you can see specific details about which are doing better than others. But now the event is actually taking place, and so we want to be at the door with an attendee list that actually shows us who's purchased, who's coming, and how can we check them in. The attendee list is accessible right next to the sales report via this attendees option, and we can also access it from the broader events list on the back end by just going into events, hovering over the event title, and clicking attendees. They're both going to take us to the exact same location, which is this screen. What this is telling us is, for this event, the monthly tribal council meeting, you have these ticket types available, and you've sold this many of them. This is when the event itself is taking place. Here's the venue. Here's the phone number. And then down below, we actually have the attendee list of everybody who is confirmed and who is an attendee. Now, there's a few things I want to point out here. One, you're going to notice you're only seeing 2 ticket options here, but it's saying that there are 3 tickets sold. This is because the 3rd ticket has not yet been completed. It's like we saw in the last screencast. He might have ordered his ticket and said he's going to send a check, but he hasn't yet sent that check, so it hasn't been processed on the Modern Tribe side. We're only seeing completed orders down here because the only people who we can check in and who are actually truly officially set up to come to the event are those who've completed their purchase. But that guy who purchased the 3rd one, who is still in flux, we don't want him to lose that ticket. We don't want somebody else to buy it who's able to pay quicker. So we want to give that one reserved for him. Until he either completes his order or it's canceled, that is going to be hooked in and saved for him. So just keep that in mind, that this list down below is not always going to reflect the same number of items you have showing up here. Right now, we have 3 tickets sold, but only 2 of those have been completed. You'll also see that I have checked in 1 person, and that one checked in guy is showing down here. What this is saying is the guy who ordered 2528 has arrived. He presented his ticket to us, I cross-referenced the security code to make sure it's not a fraud, and I checked him in. Now I know that nobody can come with that ticket order again, that security code again, and they can check in because I've already marked them and I know that that person is already here. We're not going to create duplicates, but if by some odd chance I did accidentally check him in, well, luckily there's an undo option right over here. Notice that the checked in does update automatically based on what you mark here, so that at the end of the event you can come in and you can say, wow, we sold 500 tickets for this, but only 300 people showed up. What's the deal and what can we do to make that a higher number? If it were me, I would always want my tickets sold to be as close to the number of checked in as possible because I knew that those people were actually attending the event. This is meant to be accessible for you in any way that you want it. Note that we can make it printable, you can send it via email, or you can export it to a CSV file. And you can also filter by ticket number, order number, or security code over here. So if you start to have 100, 200, 300 tickets to work with, you can filter and narrow them down easily right over here. This is meant to be your friend and is meant to help you manage your events properly. That said, I'm pretty sure we've covered the vast majority of what you're going to want to know with regards to this add-on. I suspect you may still have questions. You can check out our documentation page or our new user primer to read the written instructions if you like. The written instructions do sometimes differ from what we have in the videos to the extent that some people learn better that way. So if these videos didn't get you where you want to go, you might want to check out the written portion of this primer. Otherwise, we do have a dedicated forum where our team would love to help you out. Just make sure you got your license key plugged in and head over to tri.be/support and we'll get you what you need. Thanks again for your purchase, and I look forward to hearing your feedback on the plugin.